The legal battle between the Pac-2 and the artist formerly known as the Pac-12 continues, and a little testy, according to a couple of statements that we got, but there has been some movement in the case. Welcome in. I am John Kurtz. Here on this channel, we talk college football, college basketball, and conference realignment from a Big 12 angle. Please consider subscribing if you have not. Live shows on Wednesdays and Sundays. They are a blast. Tons of people in there. It's a lot of fun. And you also get content like this sprinkled in throughout the week. You can support the channel on Venmo at John-Kurtz-4, and please like and comment on the video as well. All of that free and a good way to help the channel. So the Pac-12s, I'm reading from a John Wilner story, by the way. John Wilner from the Pac-12 Hotline. This is a story about what's going on with the battle between the departing 10 members of the Pac-12 and the Pac-2 currently. The Pac-12's 2 remaining schools and the 10 departing universities have agreed to mediation in an attempt to settle their dispute over governance of the conference, according to court filings obtained by the hotline on Monday. Quote, "The talks have been productive," a source said. "Everybody wants them to succeed. It just has to be on fair terms to everybody." Them, of course, is Washington State and Oregon State, the schools left behind in the realignment game that decimated the conference in early August. I would wonder where that source is coming from, because it does seem like the 10 don't really care too terribly much. They may say that they care, but their actions, I'm not sure, are indicating that they care a whole hell of a lot about what is going to happen to Washington State and Oregon State here. But agreeing to mediation is an interesting step in all of this. We'll continue within the article here. The Beavers and Cougars took Commissioner George Kliavkov and the 10 outbound schools to court in Whitman County, Washington, to gain clarity on the makeup of the governing board, which controls the conference's assets. So the issue here, Cliff Notes, if you haven't been around for this, the Pac-2, Oregon State and Washington State, were worried about the other schools still maintaining a board, maintaining their seats on the board when they felt like they shouldn't, based on precedent when other schools had left the league, like Colorado, USC, UCLA. If they kept their seats on the board, they could finagle something. They could mess with the money that would potentially be left around for Oregon State and Washington State. They didn't like the idea of those schools being on the way out and still having some governance power over the conference. That's what's going on there. The mediation actually began on October 2nd and is scheduled through October. The mediator is former U.S. District Judge Lane R. Phillips, according to a declaration by Daniel B. Levin, an attorney for Washington. But if you thought, hey, that seems like maybe they're playing kind of nice if they're doing mediation, it's not the only development here. The other development is that Washington on Monday filed a motion to intervene, the first step in potentially getting the lawsuit dismissed, and requested an October 25th hearing on the issue. Now, the Huskies acted alone because they are the only departing school within the state of Washington. Remember, this lawsuit filed in Washington. The other 9 schools filed an amicus brief in support of Washington's motion and claimed that Whitman County Court lacked proper jurisdiction. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Okay, we have conflicting statements released, one by the 10 schools, one by the 2 schools. Here's what the 10 schools have to say, the outgoing members. They say, quote, "As we share another memorable fall season of Pac-12 athletics, we recognize the complex challenges of the current situation. Our court filings show how our schools are in full compliance with the Pac-12 bylaws, which prohibit a member from leaving the conference before August 24, but allow schools to announce a withdrawal that will happen after that date. We are looking forward to engaging in further candid and constructive conversations that will allow us to reach a fair resolution and position our communities for future success." You're going to get a bit of a different vibe here from Oregon State and Washington State in their statement. Says, quote, "The departing schools continue to undermine our efforts to secure the future of the Pac-12 conference. They are relying on flimsy arguments to try to escape accountability for their actions. It won't work." Strong stuff so far. "Their decisions directly damage the Pac-12 and are causing real harm to the conference, Oregon State, Washington State, student athletes, and the people of Oregon and Washington. We did not create or seek these circumstances, but OSU and WSU will continue to take whatever actions are necessary to protect our universities, ensure accountability and transparency, safeguard the Pac-12 conference, and preserve our options moving forward. The future of the Pac-12 should be decided by the schools who stay, not those who go." And to that I say amen. Much more on the side of Oregon State and Washington State in all of this. According to the article, just another brief explanation here, Washington State and Oregon State believe the departing universities relinquished their board seats when they agreed to join other leagues, and they're worried that if allowed to remain on the board, the 10 could vote as a block in ways that undermine the ability of Washington State and Oregon State to rebuild the conference. A preliminary injunction hearing to determine the makeup of the board is scheduled for November 14th. The various legal steps prior to that include an expedited discovery process, which could lead to sensitive information becoming public. That would be interesting from a content standpoint, not going to lie. It's not usual for mediation to unfold alongside litigation. However, the willingness to engage a mediator hardly guarantees the sides will reach an agreement, especially given the early stage of the legal process. A trial would likely be months away. Quote, we'll see if the two sides can figure out a path and avoid a trial, the source said. The 10 outbound schools are concerned about the use of the Pac-12's financial assets, which include more than $60 million in NCAA tournament revenue. If the Beavers and Cougars are deemed the sole members of the governing board, the source said they could keep the Pac-12 alive for up to 24 months, then pocket the assets, shutter the conference, and join the Mountain West. Quote, that wouldn't be fair to the other 10, the source said. I really don't like this source. Wilner, can you let me have a word with this source? I do not like that. That wouldn't be fair to the other 10. Well, screw off, other 10. You left for another league. What is fair about that for Washington State and Oregon State? They should get the damn money. But the Pac-10 and the Pac-2 have very different interpretations of what constitutes fair. The article continues here. Can mediation work? Like everything else about this legal dispute, resolution could be weeks or months away. Well, boy, doesn't that refrain sound familiar around Pac-12 country? I don't. Really kind of grinds my gears here. I am very much all in on being team Oregon State and Washington State and all of this, but we'll see how it continues to play out. You know, I'll keep you updated here on the channel. Make sure and join the live shows on Wednesdays and Sundays. They are a ton of fun. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so you know when it is that I'm going live. And support the channel on Venmo, John-Kurtz-4. Let me know what you think about the Big 2 versus the Big 10, or the Pac-2 versus the Pac-10 here. My fault. In the comment section. Leave a comment underneath the video. Let me know what you think, whether you agree, disagree, whatever your take is. And please like the video. I would appreciate that as well. All helps with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Thanks for hanging out with this video. Take care. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will talk to you soon.